It's good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family. We're back once again with your Casper Crypto live stream. I have only now just realized that my live stream is massively conflicting with the blockchain and banter crew, so I do feel a little bit bad about that. You know, they're seemingly going to be talking about stuff with app Cascade, with also Casper giving them updates regarding Casplex and a lot more. So I'll be tuning into that the moment the stream is done myself as well. But that being said, hopefully I won't conflict with their streams in the future, because I enjoy their blockchain banters that happen every Monday as well. That being said, that we have got some interesting updates, some Casper updates to get through, but a lot of fundamental updates for this stream today. We've had confirmation of the Clarity Act, which is now taking the spotlight, getting very, very positive feedback, which is fantastic news, and potentially maybe voted on and implemented coming towards the end of the month, which would be extremely bullish news. Extremely bullish news. We have got interviews and stuff from the likes of Tom Lee, who even now still believes we could see a 200k Bitcoin by the end of the year, which, you know, basically a 2x in 4 months would be insane for Bitcoin, no less. That'd be absolutely insane. I've got some other very reassuring posts showing some bullish signs around the crypto space. And we have one of the titles of the stream today being Huge Ledger Hardware Wallet Hack. To the point where, as it stands right now, people are being advised and informed about it, and therefore saying don't conduct any transactions or anything right now because of this massive supply chain hack. We'll get through all of that in this stream today. As always, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Greg, brother, welcome back. First here before Mr. Miles. Indeed, here before Sir Miles, but I know when he does join, he'll still be first anyways. Welcome back, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well. Dimitar, Future Crypto Elite, is here as always. Welcome back, my man. Buffalo, yo to you too. Devious Me, hello to you too, brother. Wing Hong again, welcome back. And Dimitar says here that Casper will melt faces, so wallet number 2 is Bybit. Yes, so as we go on to Casper right now, we go on to the top addresses. We can see the top addresses currently holding Casper. Number 1 being MEXC and number 2 being Bybit. Originally, number 2 was this wallet here, the elusive alleged Binance wallet, but after this wallet, this Bybit wallet, added over 600 million Casper to this address, it flipped this wallet here. Now, upon further inspection, which Greg put in our free Discord server, shout out to Greg, and equally I did speak about it a little bit in my stream yesterday, we come to the realization that with this Bybit wallet here, it wasn't so much them buying 600 million Casper, which of course that would be insane and definitely would cause a pump in the price of Casper, but it was more so them reallocating all of their numerous wallets and putting it all into this one here. We can see, go to show details, we can see in this particular instance where you see received 5,827, you can see all coming out of tagged Bybit wallets and all going into this Bybit wallet here as well. And you can see, as you look at the address ending in ZNQK, ending in H7ZH, so they are different wallets all going into this one here. So it looks like Binance or Bybit even had multiple wallets and just kind of reallocated all of their portfolio and all of their earnings, all of their Casper tokens, or sorry, Casper coins, into this wallet here. I can't say for sure if they've completely liquidated all the other wallets to all put it into this one, but they have put it into this one nonetheless, and that could be an indication therefore that, you know, typically when exchanges do this to kind of, I guess, keep better track of what they're holding and whatnot, it can also be an indication of they're preparing for something that's about to be happening very, very soon. But again, we have to wait and see. We do know some big things are coming up for Casper very, very soon, to which I actually want to talk about this post here, for example. Of course, this goes back on the post that was highlighted yesterday, and we spoke about it a little bit yesterday as well. You've seen Jack Mellor and many others as well who seem to suggest that we may be coming towards the end of the 4-year cycle. Even Plan K has apparently said we're coming to the end of the 4-year cycle and may see an extended bull run this year. And this is the post here from this individual, and he posts saying that there is no 4-year crypto cycle. That's not a thing. What we are seeing normally, and what has happened historically, is a macro liquidity cycle that just happened to align to 4 years in the past 10 to 15 years. That's why, crypto, Bitcoin has typically have a 4-year cycle, because it follows the macro liquidity cycles. However, for the first time in recent history, in years, we are seeing macro liquidity starting to turn positive at the end of the 4-year period instead of turning negative like it usually does. So the question is, what will win, sentiment and the supposed 4-year crypto cycle, or will it be macro liquidity cycles and ultimately how money moves and how the economy is currently positioned? What will win? In my belief, it will be the latter. It will be macro liquidity and therefore leading to an extended cycle. Bear markets were constantly triggered by macro liquidity turning negative, but is now turning positive. And this is something, again, that I actually did post a very, I'd say quite vague, but at least information that I have already posted to my VIPs in my executive community. The post here from Signum Bank Monthly Investment Outlook as of last month in August. And you can see here, when the cycle top, it talks about, again, we believe the current cycle has further to go, due to the fact that we have global liquidity remaining plentiful and expanding. Institutional adoption is progressing while demand for treasury companies remains strong, and streamlined US regulation is likely to act as a catalyst for at least certain segments of the market. On 2 occasions it says that in that document. Again, if you want to see that for yourself and have the link to the article, you can check it out in my VIP. You just go in there, you sign up free for a week, go in there and you type in either exclusive or you just type in Signum, SYGNUM Signum Bank, and you'll see the article there. While the pattern of past crypto market cycles suggests we may be nearing the cycle top, we believe that liquidity conditions, progressing institutional adoption, continued strong demand for treasury companies and streamlined US regulations means the current cycle has further to go. And this was actually quoted by this individual Miles here, shout out to my brother here, who just said, again, when you partner this information, this institutional, my alpha information, that one of many that I post to my VIP, when you partner this with the fact that institutions are awaiting proper regulations to be implemented to inject further liquidity into the markets, timing the market becomes obsolete. Trust your conviction, don't be emotional, be logical. DCAing right now, I would argue, is probably the best strategy. And in regards to anything, I don't think trying to time the market is a good thing. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to take everything out of crypto come November, December, because there's no guarantee the cycle's going to top then. If anything, right now, indicators seem to suggest more so is going to extend into 2026. How long into 2026, we don't know. But there are certain other indicators that I'll be using to determine when that supposed top is. And even then, I'm not going to take all out at the top. If I am worried about things getting heated up and a potential reversal and, start pushing down to the downside, what I'll do is start, like you would DCA in, I'd DCA out. I start taking profits out at certain zones. And I'm not saying price zones per se, but I'm just saying periods where I think the market's starting to get a bit overheated. In that regard, we have many more fundamental posts, which we'll be talking about throughout the stream. So we'll come back to that in a little bit moment. Such of which being Tom Lee, who notoriously a very bullish individual, I guess like myself in a sense, but he still believes that with gold also reaching all-time highs, going higher and higher, and Bitcoin, actually there was someone, I think it was in our VIP as well, I think it was Tony or Joking, I think it was Joking actually, Joking suggested or highlighted that there have been sources in the past to suggest that when gold rallies up, Bitcoin actually follows like a month afterwards, and we can actually analyze that right here. So you can see here in this particular instance, July, we saw gold reach this peak here, and you go to Bitcoin, July, and you're looking at August, you saw what happened here. New all-time high for Bitcoin. A month afterwards, go a little bit further back. Let's look in November, early November time here, we saw gold make an all-time high. Bitcoin, look at December time therefore. And again, you can see that here, December, we saw, well, you can't see because, that's not what you see, December down at the bottom there is when you see Bitcoin make a peak. So if that is an actual indicator to take into account, therefore, with gold now rallying significantly due to certain uncertainties in the economy and whatnot, but with gold now rallying to all-time highs, it means that Bitcoin should be making that move in a month's time. So therefore, going into October, being into Q4, we'll see Bitcoin rally significantly and hopefully catching up to that M2 money supply as well, another big indicator that Signum Bank and many other institutions are talking about, and we'll see therefore 150k Bitcoin, if not Tom Lee's predicted 200k very soon before the end of the year. But again, we'll come back to that post and listen to the interview in a moment. Before I'll do though, I will be first of all addressing more questions and then getting to some Casper announcements, and then also coming back more to the fundamental news and the headline news for this stream as well. Munya, not yet Wing Hong, but good news actually. We can see Casper is currently up 2.41%, despite the scare we saw recently with Casper losing that 8 cents level of support, that kind of mass almost 10% correction on that day. Casper then has had 2 positive days, or has had 1 positive day and is currently positive again today. And it's not confirmation just yet, but if Casper can hold above this zone today, hold above that, that will be reassuring signs that Casper will likely start making this move back up towards this next resistance being at the 8.3, in this zone again up to about 8.8, and then back up to 9 cents again. So again, in accordance to what our VIPs were talking about on the weekend, the potential quote-unquote gamble, if you will, or the analysis, the indicators is that if Casper can hold above this, it might be not a bad chance or bad time to look into taking a potential long from here. Again, do your own research, not financial advice, but Casper right now is doing very, very well, currently at 8.1. I say very well in recent time. Of course, still down from its all-time highs. People are still very frustrated about that, but Casper is doing well today, and I'm hoping it's going to continue. We can see right now on CMC, Casper's got a $2.3, $2.4 billion market cap, and equally, the volume right now is at 33.87 million. Again, it's very, very lackluster, very, very small. But hopefully that's going to change soon enough with, the big catalyst still to come out, which again, I made in my post here. When I actually read my post, what I said here as well, I said I've been saying this for months about, the potential for an extended cycle, and even institutional documents support that here as well. Should listen to my VIPs at warp.com/coinfactory. There's institutional research document from Signum Bank, which also confirms that we may see an extended bull run as sentiment is shifting, and now institutions believe this cycle has further to go and may extend into 2026. And this is just one of my, again, literal hundreds of documents in there, and interviews and resources in there as well. But that would be great for Casper. I don't think we need it for Casper to do well this cycle, but it would be an added benefit to Casper, considering that Casper still has so many other massive catalysts that will be coming within the next year from now. So I'm talking September 2026. From this period of time, we're going to definitely see smart contracts. We'll definitely see tier ones. I mean, no definite in tier ones, I guess, but a strong possibility we'll see tier ones in the next year. Dagonite, there's speculation we'll be seeing it come, at least we saw a post a few months back from Michael Sutton where he said, pretty much over my dead body will be seeing Dagonite in Q3 2026. So as in he wants to get Dagonite out before Q3 2026. So we should hope to be seeing Dagonite happen before in a year's time, which would be insane if that does take shape. VProgs hopefully will also be coming out in that period of time as well. Native smart contracts, stablecoin adoption would be inevitable, especially with the launch of smart contracts as well. And then of course the KII would have already launched their ZTEX, their Warp Core, and their Gigawatt, and likely many more projects as well that would have taken shape in this year. That's also why I believe that if the cycle does extend, and let's just say for argument's sake it extends into Q2 2026, Casper will have an added 5-6 months of the cycle, and its big catalyst that would generate more adoption. More Bitcoin maximalists would also take more note of Casper if these things are successful, and we'll see Casper therefore start to shock a lot of people. That's at least my personal belief. The confirmation is speculation, but the sources here I think support my theory. And again, you've got to do your own research. Stuff I do provide in my VIP. If you want to find out more, I'll be now starting to post the occasional alpha source on Twitter and even in my Discord server as well. And again, just to give you an inkling on what we talk about in there a lot more frequently, so you can then understand exactly why my conviction stay so strong in crypto and in Casper, and ultimately what I'm preparing for in this cycle, which is again a fundamentally different cycle. We cannot keep reacting to how, even if you've been crypto for 5, 10, whatever years, you can't use the cycle the same way the last cycle behaved. It's not the same cycle. Fundamentally, it's not. Good evening to Brett. Welcome back, brother. You're doing very, very well. Thousands of wallets dropped out of Casper, top of 1,000 addresses. Yeah, that's probably because a lot of them are maybe Bybit wallets as well. Just kind of, you can see that here. So in a lot of the top addresses right now, you have seen a bit of a pullback in that as well recently, but it might just be, again, Bybit kind of and other big exchanges kind of shifting their wallets around and putting it all into one particular wallet, hence why you've seen a lot of them just kind of disappear. But I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Wouldn't be too concerned. I still think, again, Casper's very, very early. Welcome back, Kryptoni, brother. I hope you're doing very, very well. Bybit wallet number 2 flipped the original wallet number 2 being number 3. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Welcome back, Mr. Mars. I hope you're doing very, very well. And then Mr. Mars choking with his power, saying, yeah, I called it. You know I called it. Smash the like button. And indeed, yes, very much so. If you enjoy the stream, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. It helps me out more than you know. Is the power law still relevant? I mean, I don't typically pay too much mind to the power law. I'm sure there are people who know more so of it than I do and would give their 2 cents on the matter. I've never really determined the power law as a significant... Okay, maybe not significant is the right word, but out of all the indicators that I use to kind of look at Casper in regards to price and trajectory and whatnot, power law has never really been one that I've taken too much into account. That's not to say it's not relevant. I just don't have an answer for you because I don't typically use it. But I'm sure someone else in this community or equally other content creators, maybe Plan K, would be able to give you his 2 cents on the matter as well. I'm hearing it's an institutional collaborated effort by big parties to make Casper the hub of stablecoin transactions. I keep telling y'all it's the chosen one. The evidence is there. I mean, I have not heard anything of that, any confirmation or any sources of that. But, from a feasible standpoint, thinking about Casper again being decentralized, being very cheap and scalable as well, and the current stablecoin platforms are the likes of Ethereum and Tron being the main 2 ones, and both of them are expensive and slow and just terrible. Pretty much the whole of the crypto space is open to becoming the next big platform hub for stablecoins. So in that regard, then yes, maybe Casper could be the one. And it would be a very, very big deal for Casper if we did see that. We see a hell of a lot more transactions, liquidity, volume, and that would definitely bump the price of a Casper as well, because every transaction, whether it be a stablecoin transaction that takes place on the Casper protocol, would end up you needing Casper to send transactions. And with that, it means that the miners will be able to mine again, and you see the demand for Casper go up, and therefore the price will go up with it as well. But that would be insane. Not first, don't ban me, please, Mr. Mars. Yeah, honestly, Mr. Mars, let's keep the tyranny, Mr. Mars, a little bit back today. Keep on getting scared now, as you can see. What's up, young GF baby daddy? Big Cod's wallet back in action. Good to have you back, brother. I hope you're doing very, very well. Jedi Jason again, welcome back. How did we discover the Bybit wallet if they do not trade? It's a good question. I mean, I guess there are certain... what you can do, I guess, is there's certain individuals who have been able to go through and, spend their time to go through the wallets. The tags here are done by the people who run Casper, and there are certain people in the community who do analyze these wallets a little closer than I probably do. And they see, certain matches in regards to the wallet IDs and whatnot, and where they're coming from, and they realize that's an exchange wallet, and then they kind of forward the information to Casper, who then put a tag on it. They don't frequently trade, but I guess it does happen. Actually, speaking of the wallets, Wallet 3, the elusive potential Binance wallet, has scooped up 2.6 million capital, which is quite interesting. And this Wallet 7, I think, is Kraken's. Yeah, Kraken wallet here also scooped up another 2 million as well. And just again, the little game that I love to play here, just to prove exactly how much and why Casper would be the best place for stablecoins as well, is because of this. You see the transaction cost, and this came from Gate this time round, but it is not Gate wallet to our knowledge. But you can see here the transaction cost, the size, and equally how much time it took. They said a total of 2.7 million Casper, so $228,000. Which only cost 0.000616 Casper and took less than a second. That would be the perfect platform stablecoins. So yeah, I'm going to send you the post. Marathon is playing the long game. Yeah, please do send me the post at me in the Discord server, in the Casper channel, or even do it on Twitter, up to you, LB, and I will bring it up on stream in a little bit. But yeah, I do think a lot of these institutions are positioned accordingly. Marathon, I think, is a very, very surefire bet, considering that Marathon Digital Holdings has only ever mined Bitcoin, and for the first time ever in their history, they decided to diversify and look at Casper. And while they had a lot, over 100 million Casper, and they sold a lot of it off now, they still have, I think, over 30 million Casper when we did our calculations or so. They actually have more this quarter than they did last quarter. I haven't got it on their balance sheet anymore. They're not showing the name of Casper, but they do still have it as other digital asset. And again, they only ever mine Casper or Bitcoin, so it can't be anything else besides Casper. Don't know what the plan behind that was to remove the name, but I guess it was their own marketing strategy. Tangent aside, point being is, yeah, I do think Marathon are fully aware that Casper has a lot of significant developments coming through and therefore a very strong chance of surprising people. Hence why they're hedging their bets on Casper and diversifying away from Bitcoin a little bit. Not a lot yet, but I'm sure they'll gradually grow more and more. And again, just to throw that fishing rod out there and pull the reel in, Marathon company cannot do anything without their shareholders. Go ahead, their green light. Their shareholders being BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, all the big Wall Street institutions that run the world. So by and large, therefore, the likes of BlackRock, indirectly or directly, they know of Casper. And the KRI will also be a bigger enterprise third-party provider, if you will, or that will also bring more institutional adoption to Casper's way as well through meeting with the SEC Crypto Task Force or through their own projects with their other clients as well. Where are we with stablecoins being on-chain timeline? We haven't got a timeline yet, Jedi Jason. What we need to see first and foremost is the smart contracts launch. Likely Casplex is first. Once the Casplex smart contracts come out, we've heard from the KEF, from Johnny, that they are in very tight talks with the likes of Circle, USDC, and the possibility, at least in Johnny's words, that they'll make a bridged asset or bridged USDC over to Casplex KEF Casper first, and if everything's successful and it runs smoothly and whatnot, and they see it beneficial, then they'll do a native USDC on Casper, which would be very, very big vote of confidence as well. Tether is not as, I guess, far along potentially, but at the same time, in the conference that's taking place in 5 days' time on September 13th, KF is going to be there with Casper, and the co-hosts of that event are Crypto.com exchange and Tether as well. And, Casper, KF or whatever, I think they were invited to it or something like that. So the connections between Casper and exchanges, tier ones that we've not currently listed on, and equally this big stablecoin providers is still very much there. So it's the answer to your question, Jedi. We don't know the timeline, but it should hopefully not be too far off after the launch of the smart contract, which again, we don't know the timeline of that either. I do know, again, the blockchain banter space is currently ongoing, and apparently Capital will be in attendance, keeping them updated about the cashback situation. I'll be re-listening to this back after the stream today. Maybe he does drop some alpha leaks, which he does tend to do, but as it stands right now, and for what I've been seeing from his posts on Twitter, I think he'll give some updates regarding the general emotional behavior in the project, in camp, but I don't think he'll be giving us any updates. I may be wrong, but I don't think he'll give us any updates about a time just yet, because they're evidently waiting for something that we're not sure of just yet. If someone transfers 1 Casper or 200 million Casper, would it not take roughly the same amount of time to complete? Yeah. Oh, in a sense, yeah. You can go through. I don't have the exact maths or anything for you for that, but to answer your question, if you go through CashFi, which you just go to the top addresses here on CashFi, and you look at, just for example, again, let's take wallet 3 now, the potential Binance wallet here. You see this transaction here was only, 2.6 mil? And if you go to this particular, you click show details here, and you click this little arrow right here. That will show you the transaction overview here, and show you the acceptance time, the transaction fee, and the amount transacted. Now I'm showing you that there, and you can see kind of what it's like. You then can go and check one of the other previous transactions. So this one here, 24 million Casper. So that here was a total of 2.7 million in the transaction order. This one here in total was 15 million. That took less time, was a little bit more expensive, but it was more transacted. So it's slightly more expensive, but it actually took less time. So the speed and the cost isn't right now, at least to my knowledge, not indicative of the size of the transaction. Now, as Casper gets more adopted, and then you get more congested as well, there is a feature that was created by the developers, which basically allows the users, the people like us, therefore, to decide the order priority. So in that sense, therefore, we could decide whether we want the transaction to take 1 second and therefore pay a premium, so pay more transaction fees to get it quicker, or we decide if we want to pay, let it take, maybe 5 or 6 seconds and therefore pay a minimal fee. But that's something else that Casper, I think, either has or already is implementing to then give us the choice of speed and security, or just cheap, if that makes sense as well. Which I think that is a feature that many other platforms have, but again, to compare that to Casper and its speed and its price is still few and far between. We will still have a red September, or do you think it will be more green one? I doubt it will be red. Good question, Ben. It's a tough answer. It's a tough question to answer because we have got certain catalysts taken into account. One being the rate cuts that are coming in 9 days from now. Well, still speculative, but good strong chance of rate cuts in 9 days from now from Jerome Powell, which rate cuts would likely be a very good indicator and likely alleviate more pressure from the economy, allowing this capital to start flowing into crypto. So in that regard, you should start seeing more green in the market, but at the same time, anything can happen. Uncertainties, for example, like this recent situation here. So we've got this breaking report here. Massive crypto supply chain attack. Ledger CTO warns hardware wallet users must verify every transaction. Others should avoid on-chain activity until patch. So it looks like there's a large-scale supply chain attack in progress. Now, thankfully, it's not affected the markets too badly, as we can see here, for the most part. But again, these sort of situations, these hacks could happen at any moment and then just cause a complete reversal and pandemonium and panic and FUD in the markets. From the general consensus of the macro and fundamental side of things, I think we should be seeing maybe a more so green September towards the end, going into October in particular. But we have to wait and see. No one has any crystal ball. But the rate cuts will hopefully be a good breather for us. And again, you got on Wednesday and on Thursday this week, so in 2-3 days time, the PPI inflation report and the CPI inflation report that will also determine the Fed's actions and the significant amount of rate cuts they'll provide in the foreseeable future as well. Now, in continuation, not just this news here, which again is not ideal. A malicious payload works by silently swapping crypto addresses on the fly to steal funds. Just again, if you're using Ledger, be very careful. Just avoid on-chain activity, avoid transactions for the time being. I'm sure it'll be fixed soon in due time. Other updates here as well, also relatively negative news. Apparently, in a historic move, the French government has just collapsed for the second time this year, which is insane. This makes President Macron the first French president to have two governments collapse in 12 months since 1953. So, just to kind of elaborate on what this means in accordance to Grok here, France's government has fallen apart again. The Prime Minister lost a vote of no confidence, so she had to quit. This is the second time in less than a year under President Macron, the first double collapse since 1953. So the reason why it happens is because Parliament is split after last year's election, and parties couldn't agree on budget cuts to fix high debt and spending issues. So now Macron has to pick a new Prime Minister, but forming a stable government will be tough. New elections are an option, but unlikely soon. But again, this is quite a situation for France. And it could also have some drastic effects on the economy. If it was America, that'd be, pandemonium. If it was the UK or Japan, equally be very, very bad. It's still not good at happening in general, and equally, but evidently, it doesn't seem to be affecting the markets too badly despite the government collapse. Maybe again, it's because it's so late and TradFi markets have stopped running right now, or at least they're coming to stop running. It's UK, it would have stopped running now. But I have to wait up and see what happens tomorrow, if this news does affect it negatively or not. But that's just a little bit of FUD to let you know what's currently going on in the markets, but not to get you emotional, due to understand that this stuff happens and it can cause effects in the market. But think logically, we are still in a very, very strong spot. For example, NASDAQ files with the United States SEC to enable trading of stocks and in tokenized form, which is absolutely massive news. That's not all. Backpack EU launches as the first as one of the first exchanges with regulated perpetual futures in Europe. So again, more crypto adoption in Europe. Fantastic news. The SEC has acknowledged the filing of the Canary Spot staked SAY ETF. So again, more ETF filings. Whether it, again, it's still very, very good. More adoption coming through. And then we've got some other ones here as well. But this one here as well, I'll get to in a moment. But the big one for me is the early buzz right now coming from the Clarity Act. Market structure draft get positive reviews. We can see here from Eleanor Tarrant and her Crypto in America article here. Early reaction to the Senate Banking Committee latest market structure decision draft is leaning positive. Over the weekend, a handful of prominent industry voices took to social media to share initial reactions to the 182-page text released Friday afternoon. Early praise focused on the bill's clarity around decentralized governance, staking, airdrop, tokenization, and protection for software developers and self-custody. Other standouts include protection for existing non-fraudulent tokens from future SEC enforcement, exemptions for decentralized physical infrastructure, so DPIN, and DeFi networks, and the new process for SEC CFTC coordination, which is very big. The latest draft is the product of weeks of work by the Senate, by more than 130 stakeholder responses on topics from trading and custody to illicit finance, and so on and so forth. The next step. The committee introduces the bill and holds a markup, potentially by the end of the month. We may see the market structure bill enter the Senate by the end of the month, and therefore I'd like to believe going into October will hopefully pass the votes and be implemented into office and signed into law by Donald Trump. How quickly it happens will depend on how the Banking Committee Democrats respond and whether they're willing to negotiate on some of the bill's more decisive provisions. So will it be a natural agreement, therefore being pushed through very quickly, or will it be a bit more butting of heads again? Chairman Scott, Senator Lummis, and their colleagues will continue to work in a bipartisan way to deliver a final product that would protect investors, foster innovation, and keep the future of digital finance anchored in America. How meeting with Democrats go over the next 3 weeks will be crucial to the timeline, and some in industries are cautiously optimistic about a compromise. That's a very, very big deal. Very big deal. Again, if you were to read through, or if you're a part of my VIP, which again you can join for free for 7 days, or equally join for free for a week if you sign up through the affiliate link down below in the description to BYDFI, no KYC, no VPN exchange, that can give you many benefits through my affiliate link, such as being a 1 month free trial to this VIP as well. If you end up doing that, reach out to me on Discord and I'll set you up with a 1 month free trial. But as you're in the community, you would see documents, alpha documents and trade alerts and everything else in there, but alpha documents spreading far and wide, which also showcase stuff like this, which again, if you read through this document, this article, it will tell you, and it says it even here, streamlined US regulations is likely to act as a catalyst for at least certain segments of the market. So regulatory clarity and frameworks will likely act as a catalyst, a kind of a green light signal, and opening up the floodgates for more liquidity, institutional adoption to come into crypto. When you partner this news and what's coming in space with institutions waiting proper regulations to be implemented to inject further liquidity into the markets, timing the market becomes obsolete. Trust your conviction, know what you hold, and to keep doing your research. Ultimately, this is where we're currently standing right now. It's a very, very big deal. So with that being said, I'm going to get some questions very quickly in a moment. Before I do, Tom Lee, Fundstrat co-founder, Wall Street expert, currently in the process of building an Ethereum treasury to replicate Michael Saylor's Bitcoin treasury. He took to CNBC earlier and basically just stated his bullish stance once more that Bitcoin can still easily hit $200,000 in the next 4 months, being a $4 trillion market cap. Take a very close listen.
Times in 19.
Hey, Tom, Bitcoin, before we let you go, tell us what you think. We're at about $111,000. The upside, the downside from here?
Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies like Ethereum are super sensitive to monetary policy. So I think that September 17th is an important catalyst. Crypto typically does really well in the fourth quarter. So I think Bitcoin can easily get to 200,000 before year end. I know it's a big move. It's almost a double. But that's also going to be a
double from here. Let's just hold on. Let's just take a quick pause. A double from here. So everybody's listening to this. We're at $111,000, and you think by Christmas time, effectively, we could be at 200,000?
That's right. One of the reasons Bitcoin stalled this year is the Fed's been on pause for 9 months. That pause all year, if you look at an easing cycle, that's only happened 2 other times, in 1998 and 2024, where the Fed began to resume cuts in the fourth quarter in September. Equities do really well. As you know, crypto is beta to equity. So I think it's going to be a very strong fourth quarter. Small caps should also rally, like IWM, but that also is really bullish for Ethereum, which is highly linked to small caps.
And of course, if Ethereum is also going to do very well off the back of that, which would make sense because it is the leading altcoin, it means that most altcoins, if not all altcoins, will also perform very well. That would, of course, correlate to Casper. And in the fourth quarter of this year, we are expecting Igralab smart contract. We're expecting, by that point, Casper smart contract to be out as well. We're expecting, hopefully, tier 1. I mean, if you're going to see a significant market rally, you'd like to believe that Binance would finally pull the trigger then as well. We'll hope to see stablecoins on there as well. KRI would have launched their pilot programs with ZTEX, Warp Core, and Gigawatt. The fourth quarter could be a very, very bullish time for Casper. Not financial advice, do your own research. I'm not trying to spread unnecessary FOMO. I'm simply bringing the information about what's happening right now and correlating that to what is the general sentiment in the market right now from Wall Street experts. Now, in that being said, Tom Lee, everyone loves Tom Lee because he is the type of guy who says what you want to hear. He's always a bullish and optimist, which is kind of like me, I guess, in that sense. But, you know, he's not, he's equally, you know, had his misses, you know. I think he called quite a high price for Bitcoin in 2024, which didn't hit. You know, some people are calling for a $5 trillion total market cap for crypto in 2024, and it didn't hit that. It didn't hit that in 2024. I'm not saying we won't hit that this year. I think it's still very possible we can do, but we'll have to wait and see. But we are, again, on the cusp of the fourth quarter, a very, very bullish quarter that would likely see so much more come into the space, and Casper, again, would therefore be in a very, very strong spot. With all to play for. And again, this is what I'm preparing my VIPs for. I mean, it's what I'm preparing you all for, realistically, to not think emotionally, to think and act rationally and responsibly and logically. And of course, there's only so much you can do when you haven't got information at hand. So that's also why I take pride in the information that I try to find and provide to you all, especially to VIPs, so we know what institutions and smart money who run these cycles are doing and choosing to do, and therefore we can position ourselves accordingly and decide to take profit at the right times. What's up, Quarter Crawler, bro? Hope you're doing very well, brother. Coach to Canap, welcome, brother. 1 minute of silence for people who sold their bag for Kappa dips and now it is in recovery. I mean, it's still early doors. You know, we have seen a recovery of maybe 10% or so? Yeah, 10% since that dip. So, you know, that is unfortunate, but at the same time, you know, it is bound to happen. Of course, people are beyond frustrated with Casper at this point because we have seen almost a year and a half of just straight downwards price action, more or less. I'm not worried. You know I'm not. But I get people being frustrated by that. If Capital ends up dipping from here, then yes, I would probably give a minute's silence for that. But right now, it's early doors. Capital can still go lower from here. You know, I don't want to, again, spread FOMO or like Casper right now is sitting above 8 cents, 8.1 cents, which is nice, up 1.9%. But depending on market sentiment and whatnot, we could see Casper come back down to here again, losing 8 cents again, or maybe hitting that resistance down here. It might also, if Tom Lee is right, find that the rate cuts happening in the next 9 days or so that come from the Fed could end up being a very, very bullish catalyst for all of the risk on markets, equities, stocks, crypto. And you see therefore crypto rip. You see Bitcoin start rallying, Ethereum will probably start ripping significantly as well. And you might also see the other altcoins following suit, your XRPs, your SUIs, your Caspers. Your Tebex, which, I mean, the Tebek right now is down today, but still very much trading within that golden pocket that I had spoke about, which again is the zone that I'm currently still playing around. So I still think the Tebek again, I mean, if it follows the same structure it did last time around, this kind of upwards down here, the Tebek might be in this, you know, potential uptrend now. But again, we have to wait and see. We got the next, this week's going to be important for inflation data, and that will then lead into likely a very, very bullish, you know, week following that with the FOMC meeting. What is the former France called now? I have no idea. I just saw that source and I was like, okay, that's interesting. It's funny how it's not affecting the market right now too much. Maybe it will affect it tomorrow when people actually realize what's happened. But I mean, having something like that is quite significant. But I just thought it was something again that is information, and what it is it's basically politics. You know, it is politics. What happened is politics, a disagreement between two parties, and therefore a vote of no confidence being lost, and therefore being forced to step down. And despite the fact that I don't like talking politics and financial markets do go heavily hand in hand, and crypto therefore go hand in hand with politics. So I have to cover it. And I cover it because I do want to just highlight that this is currently ongoing. To just be very vigilant, this may have an effect on the markets. But we can't say for sure. Right now, it's not affecting the markets too badly at all, but that might change. Welcome back, AW bro. Hope you're doing very well, my man. What's up? But I'm a little bit late to the stream. So you said bull run will continue deep in 2026. Greeting, brother. There's no guarantee. No guarantee. Historical data says no, because it's typically a 4-year cycle. But as highlighted in the post this individual made yesterday, there is no 4-year cycle. What it is macro liquidity cycles tend to normally last 4 years, and they have done so in the last 10 to 15 years. And the bear market starts when this macro liquidity starts turning negative. However, we are now seeing the macro liquidity starting to turn positive instead. Despite the unemployment being extremely high and inflation is staying a little bit stagnant in level, but it's still starting to rally a little bit. So it does look like we're in a bit of a precarious situation. The forward-looking indicators that I mentioned a few streams back, which is the ISM and the PMI, those are two indicators that determine what businesses are trying to do right now, in regards to looking for further investments or expansion and whatnot. Point being is both those two indicators, the PMI and ISM, they are currently rallying up. I'll quickly show that on stream right now, actually. I did show this in a lot more detail and gave a very detailed breakdown again to my VIPs in the roundtable. But we can see quickly right here, if we go back. So we had the job report here, which was a very, very bad support in rate cuts, which is fantastic in a sense. And then we saw the day before, we had the ISM PMI here, which is 52. So that is, again, we had 50.1 last month, and it's expected to rise to 50.9, and it actually rose a lot higher as well. This is an indicator, therefore, that businesses and business managers and whatnot, they are now starting to look to, expand and kind of build more, and therefore indicate we're going into a re-accelerating economy with rate cuts, which would support the claim here that we are, going to see an extended cycle. Therefore, again, it's not guaranteed. It's just based on people tend to believe that it's only a 4-year cycle. That's how it works, but it follows macro liquidity trends. And of course, that's what even the information I provided to my VIPs also support the fact as well that we may see the cycle extend. So it's something to just keep into. It's just something to take into account and keep close to you. Whether you think it's the case or not, up to you. You're your own investor. You're your own researcher. Do your own research. I can provide additive information in these streams, which I tend to do, and a lot more detail and actual alpha sources in my VIPs as well. But it's up for you to do your own research. But there's a possibility the cycle extends right now, and people are believing that as well. Plan K, Jack Mallett, and many, many more said so. So it would be very interesting if that does happen. Very bullish as well for Casper. France government is in shambles now. The England's chance to strike. Do it before Spain does. Yes, Mr. Marsh, you're so right. Domain expansion. Yeah, I didn't realize you're an anime watcher. A little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen, I see you. You're a can guy. England could declare Sharia law in France any moment. I mean, right now, who knows? Even the UK is in shambles right now. England's in shambles right now. What's happening in this country from Keir Starmer and what Nigel Farage are trying to do as well. I want to get out. What's the ledger stuff? I have a couple handy, about 100k on a ledger. I don't see anyone talking else about the hack. So basically, it turns out there was a massive crypto supply chain attack. Hardware wallet users must verify every transaction, and other users should avoid on-chain activity until patched. But I'd like to assume, therefore, based on what's being said, is that so the large-scale supply chain attack is in progress. This is from the CTO of Ledger here. The NPM account of a reputable developer has been compromised. The affected packages have already been downloaded over 1 billion times, meaning the entire JavaScript ecosystem may be at risk. The malicious payload works by silently swapping crypto addresses on the fly to steal funds. If you use a hardware wallet, pay attention to every transaction before signing and you're safe. If you don't use a hardware wallet, refrain from making any on-chain transactions for now. It's unclear whether the attacker is also stealing seeds from software wallets directly at this stage, and the report is there as well. I'll link this in my free Discord server, which you can join in the description, or also on my homepage here as well. I'll link it down there, and also repost it on my Twitter account, which again, the link to follow me on Twitter is also here, and also in the description as well. Quick crypto. But yeah, from the sounds of things, therefore, if you just kind of don't touch anything on your ledger, you're fine. But if you take any transactions right now, you could be liable. So just be very careful, brother. Very, very careful. Just reading the questions going on right now. Who's worse, Tommy or Benjamin? I must have missed something because I have no idea what's being spoken about right now. I have a theory about tier 1s. What if they list Casper after the bull run to counteract momentum because it would make their own project obsolete? For example, in case of Binance and BNB, what do you think? It's not a bad theory. The fact that the theory that Binance would launch Casper during the bear cycle to avoid going obsolete because of BNB, and therefore Coinbase counterpart to Ethereum as well. It's not a bad theory. I'm more so believing that it will just be a case of, because I think Casper is, crypto as a asset class is still extremely early. Institutions right now are holding a lot of Bitcoin, and they're starting to build on Ethereum and use Ethereum. Ethereum is terrible. They have barely expanded into looking at using SUI or XRP or SEI or whatever other protocol or ledger they want to use. They've barely looked into it. It's pretty much just Ethereum right now. They're building their own blockchain to build onto Ethereum or push onto Ethereum. I'm sure once they've got more education and more knowledge of the space, they'll start actually understanding how it works and then bridging to the right protocol or hiring the right people to make their own protocol. Who knows? But in regards to the exchanges, I'm sure in the future to be, them bridging onto Casper might be in their own financial interest. But I think right now it's a bit too early doors for Casper for that to be the case. Saying that, Binance have been talking to Casper since 2023 December, and talking and with their tech, the tech stuff as well, a lot of tech stuff with their team as well and devs. So it wouldn't surprise me if they are preparing for a potential jumping off ship at some point in the future. But I think it's a bit early doors right now. I'm more so along with Brett's belief that we may just see a lot of listings in Q4 or for the next few months or so. But that would be cool, and that would be huge for capital price and pumping and whatnot, and there'd be so much more adoption coming back. And the people who flooded Casper, those who flood Casper because it's like their passion, would shift their FUD from Casper's terrible to Casper will never reach $10 or whatever. They'll shift it. They'll move the goalposts. But a lot of people who flooded Casper will probably end up coming back thinking, oh yeah, okay, now it's finally moving again. Yeah, maybe I have to go to America, who knows. Now you're catching on, QC. Yeah, Don, I try. But it literally explains all of that liquidity cycle talk within the Plan K video. We're in the fourth turning. Oh, yeah. I have to rewatch that stuff. I have to rewatch those videos from Plan K like pretty much once every other month or so to refresh myself. But yeah, I remember Plan K's video. We are in the fourth turning right now. So, and for those who are unaware, if you are, again, a part of my free Discord server, which, the VIP I'll talk about here and there, because I do think, again, it's definitely very informative and worth. And those who are part of the community also believe it's worth their while. But the particular videos that Tony's talking about here is, if you go to my Discord server and you click on the Casper channel and you click on the pinned message in the Casper channel, you can see courtesy of Crypt Tony here posting all of the Plan K videos here. We are currently in this fourth turning part. So again, it's macro liquidity, and therefore it supports the claim and belief that we are not going to see a typical 4-year cycle, that it may extend. Again, not guaranteed, but a possibility now, an increased possibility that it may extend, which would be fantastic again for those altcoin holders of us who are still waiting, and of course for Casper as well. So again, if you want to find out more, just a place to chill, chat, and learn more. We've got so many sources in my free Discord server, and then from there, if you want to level up your game as well furthermore, then you could check out the VIP as well. Come to Spain. Hey, right now, anywhere better than here. My current, if I was to travel anywhere right now and live out somewhere right now, it'd be somewhere in Asia right now. Be maybe Taiwan, maybe Japan, maybe China. I'm not so much sure just yet. I haven't really thought too much about it. I just know that when I have travelled around Asia when I was younger, it's just at least, you know, being from the UK and the value and strength of the pound sterling being so much stronger than the yuan or yen, or like it's just like it'd be a better quality of life living in Asia for me. So Asia's been like the one I've been thinking about the most. But again, who knows? I mean, if I make my millions from Casper, like we hope that we all will make millions from Casper, then I can go wherever I want. Maybe it'll be America, maybe I'll just go everywhere. Who knows? Welcome back, Double D, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well, my man. It's not a hardware wallet hack, it's a Java attack. Hardware wallets are safe. Okay. It's not Ledger, they're simply saying use hardware. Okay. Thank you very much for the further clarification, Looperstar. But yeah, it's a Java hack. I mean, either way, just be very, very careful. Very, very careful indeed. I left England years ago. I live in Barcelona. Oh, bro, I wish I was with you right now. Wish I was out of here. The UK has been gradually getting worse and worse, and I don't. I mean, what's the love with the UK? Actually, I say that I put down my country too much. UK's not terrible, but the weather's not that good. The cost of living is terrible. So expensive here, ridiculously expensive. Yeah, I don't think the benefits outweigh the benefits outweigh the negatives. The only benefit really for me being in the UK, in my belief, is just the fact I have family and friends here. I'm Belgian. In France, it's really hot. The 10th September blockage. England hot. Australia, Japan, is happening everywhere. Yeah. I mean, right now, also in the UK, we've got tube strikes. Now, it doesn't really affect me too much, but you know, so many of my friends who obviously go into work into central London, they had to get like 7 buses now to get there. It's ridiculous. It's just I mean, everyone's struggling right now. It's not just the UK. I know everyone's got their own struggles right now with the economy and how it is. Casper is diamond currency, not silver. Casper is unique, no doubt. The only reason I keep repeating myself on it is because if you watch these videos over a year ago, I feel like you'd be having deja vu. Oh, I mean, you're right, Kryptoni. And I can promise you, you know, hand on heart, pray to God, I have watched these videos and I thoroughly enjoyed them. I just also, I do attempt to not have the best memory. That's also why I take great pride in my Discord community, because there's so much going on at all times. It's really, really hard to really keep all the information in your head. The community that we have is basically not just a place we can chill, chat, and learn more, but it's also an archive of information where you can search stuff up and find it, as long as you know the right commands to search it up. I'll try and find a way to streamline and make it better over the coming like months and whatnot, to make it easier for those who are joining the free one and equally the paid one. Make it a lot less clustered in there as well. But yeah, no, I mean, it is deja vu. I don't disagree with that. It just feel like deja vu with what's happening right now and how, you know, everyone's already calling the yen, but yet all the actual macro liquidity indicators suggesting far from that. You'll have more freedom in the United States over anywhere else in the world. Well, again, hopefully Casper will give me as many options as I want to with the money I'd make. Thanks, man. Always appreciate your take. Respect to your service for Casper community. Real Casper soldier. I appreciate very much, AW. Thank you very much, man. And yeah, we're all in this together at the end of the day, so we're just going to keep our conviction high, our beliefs high, our knowledge high, and just try not to act too much on emotions and just keep learning more, because learning's how we end up making it at the end of the day. Yeah, the Eagles are coming out, Kakar in America. Woo! Don't use any Java wallets or websites for transactions. Yeah, that's basically what it means. Yeah. So thanks for further clarifications from Loopstar here. Don't use any Java wallets or websites for transactions. If you have the hardware wallet itself, it's fine. Just for the time being, don't use Java or any website for transactions, just until the problem's been resolved. Plugin videos are amazing. Yo, yeah, they are honestly very, very informative and very insightful. And that's again, like, I will always give my kudos and praise to Plan K, to Casper Silver, to the Blockchain Banter crew, and those others who are equally just constantly pumping out information. I've not even got too many Casper updates. For example, XXIM, they are now partnered with Casper.com, Igra Labs, and Cas Finance. So XXIM has only been out for less than a year. They've already done more than me, actually. I need to step up my game. Evidently, I'm not doing enough, because Plan K, XXIM, and Kit has not been doing this nearly. I don't think he'd be doing this as long as I have. At least not this Casper content stuff. And he's getting these, I mean, to be fair, he's been doing interviews with so many other massive figures, from Shai to Igra Labs himself, to Johnny, to Casper Door, to Michael Sutton. XXIM, full kudos to them as well. People who are actually actively trying to spread knowledge, information in this community, insane. Utmost respect to them. While of course there'll be your own share of people who are just going to be talking about prices and whatnot, and how high it's going to go. That's fine. You need the FOMO here and there, but I do take greater pride in being part of the community of Casper that try to spread actual knowledge and not FOMO. That's also why I don't talk about price of Casper. I don't want to spread FOMO. I want to spread just knowledge and correlate that to what's happening in the space. But yeah, XSI, I'm also doing fantastic stuff. Plan K is amazing as well. And some other updates for Casper real quickly. You got Castle Mobile Wallet version 1.2.0 is now here, which is really, really cool. So fully support for Casper on layer 2s. You can see there's actually another notable spike in network activity happening right now. You can see jumping up significantly, which is also very interesting. Probably off the back of Bybit's recent stuff, but again, that's quite cool. Apparently, Casper Silver has tried out this Vivor Cas, which is the the streaming platform coming to Casper. He streams with Smash Bros, and the platform worked great. It's nice to see another use case for Casper, making me use Casper in my daily life more and more. And why, in what way is it powered by Casper? Well, in regards to making an account, starting a stream, tipping streamers, and getting a verified account, it is not 100% decentralized platform, but it uses Casper. So again, more stuff being built, very, very interesting stuff. And I'm sure in the future I reckon I'll still do YouTube, because YouTube is definitely a much more well-renowned platform anyways, and it can also bring more people into Casper's community in itself. But I'll probably find a way to stream on YouTube and Vivor at the same time, if possible. And therefore we'd have a Casper native streaming platform as well. Again, it's cool stuff. Of course, do your own research. I have very early talked about Vivor. Same way how, and I wouldn't compare them to Probify, but I also want to bring up Probify again just to once more highlight that despite they seem great on the surface, there's still element of risk to them, so just be very careful. And then that was the last of the kind of updates for the stream, actually, truth be told. Not sure what you're referring to though, Tony. We'll have to go back and watch. Definitely. If you want to find out again, if you go into the Discord community, Brett, and go to the Casper channel and click on the pinned comment, you can see the videos Tony talking about. And I believe he's referring to the second one, in particular about the whole 4-year, coming to the fourth turning now, where basically it's a result of the baby boomers and what they've done to the economy and how it's in shambles right now. And it happens, think about the world reserve currency. It was not always the dollar. It was the pound sterling at one point. It was Venezuelan's currency at one point as well. And Venezuela's gone to kaput now as a result of it. It happens every 80 to 100 years. That's what Plan K expresses in his videos. So we're at that point now where the dollar's been the world reserve currency coming up to just over 80 years now. So we're at that fourth turning now where the dollar's losing its value and is now the economy is now trying to find a new way to kind of burst out, and it's coming through with crypto now as opposed to fiat. And also Casper's coming out at the right time for that as well. I saw the Plan K videos, it speaks to me, and I see what he explains. We'll see in 5 years, 100%. America, 100%. Some of your ancestors left the UK for the United States, following their footsteps to fulfill your destiny. God, I feel like I'm part of a cult now. When will Casper be the de facto currency of the world? That is a great question, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. Could be 10, could be 20, could be 50 years from now. Nobody knows. But if Casper can adhere to the visions that take into account human greed and whatnot, and people realise its actual benefits of Casper, it will happen at some point. In that regard, I don't think, again, Casper will be the only thing about. There will be multiple protocols, multiple assets living in this space in the future. You'll see more coming out as well that offer their own unique benefits and then some. But Casper for me will be one to survive. You got your crypto crew as well, yeah. Put a video with the Bitcoin Maxi. who understood Casper and invested, it will come a little better. Exactly. I mean, Crypto Crew also does some great stuff as well. Sin City as well. Sin City and Crypto Crew both do very, very great work. And yeah, Bitcoin masses are going to come more and more to Casper. It's also going to help his price so much. You seen VJ has put Casper K in his name yet? Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. A fully converted maxi now. Insane. It's all good, Brett. Hope you enjoy the stuff. And yeah, let me know what you learn, brother. I just realised that the K in Plan K stands for Casper. Yep. Yep, the same way you have... Yeah, it was based off Plan B. Plan B is one of the most notorious Bitcoin maximalists. And the Plan B, the B stands for Bitcoin. So Plan K is the derivative of that for Casper. But that being said, though, family, that will conclude today's Casper crypto livestream. Not too much Casper content today, but definitely a great Q&A and also some good stuff coming nonetheless to Casper. But we're seeing a lot of big things happening right now in regards to the general fundamentals and the economy of crypto. Some big fundamental stuff as well. And then some huge developments here. The biggest one for me, again, being the market structure bill, which is huge, huge stuff. No, it's not Plank, Mr. Margie. No, it's not. We are in a very unique spot. I think if Tom Lee is correct, September 17th, FOMC meeting will be a big catalyst for crypto, for on risk on markets, and that will accelerate into a very, very bullish Q4, and that could be Casper's time to shine with smart contracts still coming out soon, and the whole works. If you enjoy the content, leave a like, share with your friends, family, and subscribe for more. If you want to know about crypto and Casper, chill for the community trying to learn more about the space, then check out the free Discord server. Equally, if you want to find a lot more information, alpha information, stuff like this, but in a lot more detail, and even with, these sort of live streams happening once a week in there as well, giving you a lot more in-depth information to build your conviction, to level up your game. VIP, warp.com/coin factory. Join for 3 for 7 days, so you can have a little bit of a teaser, taster, and see if it's up, if it's a bit of you or not. If not, that's perfectly fine again. And equally, you can also join for... You could actually get, if you really, really wanted to be sneaky, you could get a month, 5 weeks, because you can get 7 days here, 7-day trial, and then also sign up through BYDFI and get an additive month as well. So, don't say I don't give you handouts. I do try. That being said, enjoy yourself a great weekend, family, and I'll see you all